Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we want to take a look at some men, gentlemen as they call themselves, exposing the shocking reasons why men push women away. So without much talk, let's dive into it.
Men don't push away girls who care about them. Men just push away women that they don't want to be with.
Let's talk about it, ladies. And this is true. I've had a lot of women tell me, oh, I cook, I clean, you know what I'm saying? Whenever he needs me, I'm there for him. But he just pushes me away. The simple fact is, you're the right package at the wrong address. Doesn't matter what you do. If he does not see fit that you are the person he wants to be with, he's going to treat you the way that he sees fit to treat you. So it don't matter how much you love him, how much you appreciate it, how much you show him. Like, if you're not the woman who he wants, your love will never be just enough for him. It will never validate him. He will always need more from someone else, and it's normally the person who he really wants. Or if that was the case, he would be with you. Men who know they have a good woman, somebody who's trying to be there for them, they're not pushing them away. They're going to let you be there. And if they have issues that stop them from doing it, they're going to communicate those issues with you if they want to grow as a man. But only boys do this. But y'all not going to listen.
Ladies, men don't push away the women they care about.
I think when I was listening to these men, I was just waiting for any of them to say that there's a difference between men and boys. And the second guy just made the statement, like he said, only boys do this, because real men, when they find a woman, a real woman, they will keep her, you know. But boys always want to play, like they don't care. You can be a very good woman, you can have good values, you're doing everything right, but you are the right package at the wrong address. Like he just said, you know, only boys do that, because real men, when they find a real woman, they don't joke about it. They keep her, they wife her, and they keep her.
They only push away the women they're using. So if he's started to distance himself after you've given him something, after you guys have gotten intimate or whatever, take that as a sign that the guy was only using you. And you know what? Don't sit there trying to get him back, win him back. What's wrong? Are you okay? Second he distances himself, match his energy. See you later, mates. Have a nice life.
Men don't push away girls who care about them.
Yeah, I think she's right to an extent, but we all have to take responsibility for our actions, because on this video we're just talking about men who push women away. But do we also take a moment to think about the reasons why some men push women away? Because some men might have some like some things that they're looking for in a woman, and once they meet you, you don't tick the boxes. And what they do, I mean, real men, they will push you away. They won't waste time with you. So we should also take time to talk about this side of the whole story, because we're just talking about how men push women away, but why do men push women away?
Push away women that they don't want to be with. Simple.
No lie, and that's exactly why on many occasions the day that you find out that he's not rocking with you is usually the day you find out that he's rocking with someone else. This is why many of your breakups are through the discovery of somebody else existing. The reason he's more hot and cold is because you're simmering on the back burner, no pun intended. Because your average man has to secure an option before he could ever drop an option. Because many of them know that they won't be able to obtain what you had quite so easily. Instead of cutting you off completely and alienating you like any other man who has his options.
Ooh. So a lot of men, this is from a man. I don't know, some men are going to come for me that this is a boy. He's not a man. But he just dropped something like, seriously, that a man will have to drop an option in order to get another option. So meaning that an average man will have about 2 women, and he will have to make a choice with his 2 women. I mean, so in every case, the man has to choose between 2 women. Is this real? I mean, I know I've got so many real men in my comment section. Most of my followers are real men. I would love to have your opinion about this, because this is new to me. This is strange, you know? So I would love to have your opinion about this.
Set in place. It's the simple matter of him desiring the perks of being around you without commitment. You're still useful even when he doesn't want you, so he isn't just going to drop you. I know being honest is the right thing for a lot of them to do. Being vocal about his feelings is the bare minimum of courtesy. When they visibly lack something so simple as appreciation for your presence, you can't rely on their honesty if they're already displaying their vague nature. So I never understood women that say, I just gotta see evidence. No, notice the signs. He's not gonna display to you evidence.
It's as simple as that. Just watch his actions. Watch his actions. Like, the signs are always there. That's what I tell my friends. That's what I tell most people. The signs are always there, but we always are hoping that they are gonna change. It's gonna switch for our own gain. It's gonna switch to our own benefit, you know? But the signs are always visible. They are always there. But I don't know, some women don't want to let go, and they're hoping that it's gonna flip, it's gonna change. But listen to a man tell you. Ladies, listen up.
You can't really apply your own consideration, morality, and logic and expect it to be a factor for somebody that attained you with the opposite. You got to remember that your definition of being a good man to this niche of men means being revoked of the thing that they wanted in the first place. To him, your feelings can matter later when he barely crosses that bridge. Many of them are not just going to hand you an exit because you're currently giving him something that a vast number of average men are rarely going to come by with low effort. It's easier to go through the steps of getting to know another woman while they have another woman on security. Because to him,
Wow. It's easier for them to go to have another woman while they have another woman on security. So this still goes to say that most men have about 2 women. So ladies, did you know about this? Like, they have about 2 women, one woman whom has to just be there, the placeholder, and then they're still looking for another woman. Oh.
he can't take 2 L's. Now he's losing his low effort options 1 to 2 ways. They either grew out of being complacent to him, or he got sick of them always telling him yes all the time. So he practically got bored of them. Either option involves you exiting, which is why you should take the distance.
So do men get sick of women who always say yes? The yes women, the women who are always trying to please them. Is he right? Okay.
That he places upon you very seriously. He kept you around, but in actuality, you're slowly transitioning into a placeholder in his eyes when he decides to push you away. They often just like the emotional ear that you can provide for them, but that's about it. Even sneaky links and friends with benefits got to find a new thing to like about you. When their mind becomes so accustomed to having you with no real purpose or pursuit for anything, if you wasn't alienated now, you finna be alienated later. Now he's either working on securing somebody of equal value or better than you to him, or he almost has somebody of equal value or better than you to him. Or you.
Yeah, he's right on this one. And I saw this play out in one of my close friends' life. She had a man. She was down for this man. She was always there emotionally. She was kind of, she had more money than the guy. So they were together. And this guy wasn't having it because he was saying that she's too bossy. She has a lot of money. She wants to make all the decisions all the time, you know. So he couldn't take it. But she was so desperate to be married. She wanted to start a family. So she was doing her best to keep him, to make him marry her. So at the end of it all, this guy left because he couldn't stand the fact that this woman was always she was always trying to please him, you know, always trying to be yes, but he could not stand the fact that she had a better job than him, she had a better pay than him, you know. So he was looking for a lady that could match his class, could match his pocket, and also could match his energy. So he could be right, but that was just an isolated case. I don't know about if this happens to so many people, but it was an isolated case and it's just an example. So, but what do you think about this? So please feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section, and let's continue the conversation in the comment section on this, because this is just one guy talking about this. But is it what most guys think about? Is this how the guys play? Is this how the guys are in a relationship with women? Or is it just the boys who think this way, or is the men? Because there's a difference between men and boys.
You were just the most viable piece of woman that he had to claim currently at that moment, so nobody else could. All three of those options don't work in your favor. This is why I said before, even in love triangles, he's never losing all of his options. He needs a woman that's willing enough to tolerate it and a woman that's not always going to tell him yes. The woman that tolerates it isn't going to go looking for evidence.
Is it not confusing? This is confusing my confusion. He needs a woman who is going to tolerate him, and at the same time, he doesn't want a woman who always says yes to him. Come on. Like, what do men really want? What do you guys want?
As opposed to the woman that's never going to tell him yes all the time. No lie, this is how many of those placeholder relationships are birthed. Those men that placed you often never chased you for real reasons besides short-term attraction and urges in that specific window of time. If he wants to establish a basis of reaping the benefits from you while also having something to fall back on every single time he gets caught up, he'll tell you one of three things. Maybe I'm not the man for you. You don't deserve me. And their favorite one, the most utilized universal one, you deserve better. If he desired longevity with you, he would just be that better.
And, you know, most of these placeholder relationships, like the men always say these three things. Yeah, I believe what he's saying. They always say these three things. And unfortunately, the women the relationship, these placeholder relationships that last longer are with women who like when the guy tells them these three things, they don't listen to that. Like they don't care, because for them, according to them, for as long as the man keeps coming back to them, it means that he loves them. And that's all they care about. They don't care if he doesn't want to marry them, like at that time, but they believe that he's gonna get accustomed and used to them, and in the long term, in no time, they're gonna get married to this man, or they're gonna like last for a longer time, maybe in a situationship, maybe in a long-term relationship. But most of the time, the signs are always there. The guys always tell the girls, maybe I'm not the man for you, you deserve better, and all this. But I don't know what's wrong. Like, there are so many other factors, but we are not going to get into that today. We're going to focus on this. So let's continue.
And I know a vast number of men enjoy peace in their relationships, but I want you to know that if this scenario occurs, don't be surprised if he fakes an argument. This specific niche will initiate an argument intentionally as the scapegoat to make a swift exit, to make the split look like a team effort. That's why when you telling the story to your homeboy and he says, oh, he just broke up with you, and you tell him, nah, we both did and we agreed upon it. And he's like, nah, he broke up with you. Your homies and your uncle and your cousin is not stupid. They know how the demographic acts. If he's the one man that can get you out of character, he's the one man that can put you back in it. A truth that many people need to admit to themselves. If they can wind themselves up in a gray area of indifference while retaining your attention, enough for you to always be in a constant state of confusion about what you are, he'll never have to be worried about committing to you. Because their intent indifference can feed just the right amount of gullibility. Especially if he was the one to shoot you a message first and he concludes it with, I'm just not in the right space to take anybody serious right now, but we can be friends. If his logic made any sense, that means he wasn't in the right space before pursuing you. This is an...
Yeah. I'm not in the right place to have a commitment now. And you go on to have a relationship with this man. I mean, in the beginning, like he already tells you that he's not down for you. He doesn't want to be in a long-term relationship with you. He doesn't want to be committed. And you go there and be committed to this man. Girl, run. Run, girl. Just run. Run away from this kind of men. Because, like, they're honest. For me, that's honesty. Like, if he tells you like that, you don't need to have a relationship with a guy. No, you don't need to.
Exit with nuances of side benefits. I got her confused and comfortable at the same time. We already did the flirty, dirty stuff, so she's going to be 10 times more comfortable to continue doing it. And I don't got to commit to doing anything because I told her that we could be friends. Even though I still pursued what I told her I wasn't going to pursue in the end. Well, the perks of what I was pursuing. I know it's confusing, but that's the point. When their actions begin to contradict their statements, it's the last thing that you need to let slide. He either got what he wanted or he's getting what he wanted from you. Or they have some type of access. If he really wanted to be friends with you, the mere thought of the thing he was pursuing from you at the beginning would have disgusted him from the very start. So he could say that you're like a friend all day, but the role you play is like a friend with benefits. He just had to okay the access to you and call it something innocent so you wouldn't catch on. Now, in many cases, if they're self-aware of what they're doing, they'll use one of the phrases that I said earlier as a bait and switch. to elicit a reaction when you decide to agree to their statement. Let's say that he alludes to the fact that he's not the man for you, and then you rebuttal back with saying, hey, maybe you're not the man for me. He's going to hit you with a, see, I knew you didn't care. He'll mess around and call that a test to make a John try harder. And since he knew your consistency to make it work more than he was, he's going to utilize that guilt and weaponize it against you, even though he's physically showing you exactly what you just said. And it's not uncommon at all. Women who are smitten enough to try to make it work when they really shouldn't are going to excuse his actions and blame themselves. And lastly, the phrase is, I'm working on myself and that's restricting me from taking you seriously, but I'm still going to pursue you. And I don't even know why I'm saying this. It's a situationship. If he refers to you as a situationship, that's not a compliment. If you hear around other people in your proximity that he refers to you as a situationship, it's not a compliment. But if he ain't too bright and he's trying to pull a Jedi mind trick on you, and for some existential reason, people keep falling for this usually transpires after he goes hot and cold. He's going to tell you, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be speaking to you. Such a dense statement, but holds so much power if directed to the right person. They know if they can make you feel dumb after saying something so dirt ground bare minimum, they can convince you of anything, because there's usually something worse than his response rate being done before he says it. I know talking to you is bare minimum, but you'd be surprised how many people actually fall for that. For the people that fall for it, they think they deserve whatever he tells her she deserves, which is rooted in his self-gratifying actions. And if this relationship was birthed off of you rejecting him a plethora of times, I want to remind you that a man that heard no a dozen times doesn't just have time on his hands, but also has time to waste as well. So whenever I hear women talk about, how could he do this to me? He was on my heels even after I rejected him. Yeah, a man that knows who he wants doesn't linger around a woman that doesn't want him. A man with
Word. A man that knows what he wants doesn't linger around a woman who doesn't want him. So you see, like some men, when they talk to a woman, they linger around this woman for so long. They get a rejection, they keep coming back. Maybe they don't care. Even if it's like 20 times, 30 times, they're gonna come. But as soon as they get the woman, they might not be committed to this woman. They might just be trying to pay back, like to revenge, like a revenge of why did you in the first place reject me? Now this is my opportunity to show you who I truly am, and to tell you that you're nothing, like you're not worthy, you know? So if a man has been trying to get you and you rejected him, why do you accept him again? So most of these men, they come back to you after the rejection. They're not coming because they like you so much. It's because they feel that their ego has been tampered with, because any rejection that a man gets affects his ego. So they are coming back to like a revenge. It's like a revenge. So women, be very careful. Like, you should be careful out there. If you reject a man, it should be no till the end. Don't accept a guy that you have been rejecting for so many times. Don't.
No time to waste has no problem ghosting who isn't serious, which means that he'd probably have no problem ghosting anybody who existed before you as well.
Just remember that a man that won't date you, when his dream girl comes in a month, 2 months, he'll probably want to get married.
Exactly. Like, I've seen it so many times, you know. There's some guys, they date girls for like 5 years, 6 years. I know of one for 10 years, 10 good years, girl. And this man met another lady and he got married to this lady within 6 months. Within 6 months. So men actually know what they want. When they find a woman that they want, they get married to the woman. They do the right thing, right? But you can be with a man, and for as long as as you're feeding his ego, you're just there as a placeholder. You're like, he's using you, you know. It's okay for the man, but you as a woman, you need to think for yourself, because when it's going up to like 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, girl, it's not serious, you know. Like the other guy said, most of the guys don't have just one girl. They always have an option. Like in every case, especially a guy who is not married yet, always have an option. So most guys don't. They're not there with just one girl. They're like, they have different options, you know. So, oops, yeah. They know what they want. And when they find a woman that they want, they do the right thing.
Because when a man sees you and he's like, that's my girl, there's a sense of urgency and he will do whatever it takes to make sure you're his because he doesn't want the opportunity to pass. So if you find that a man isn't ready for you, it's not because of the timing, in my opinion. It's because it's just he's not ready for you. And he might still want to do whatever he has to do and be like, oh, you know what? I'll keep her just because she's a good girl, but I know that she's going to stay around.
Yeah, she's right. She's right. Because when a man finds a woman that he wants, that he sees that this is my girl, this is the kind of woman I want, it's a matter of urgency. Like the guy would do everything to get married to you, like to keep you, you know. I am an example. When I met my man, I mean, he was a playboy. He was having many girls, you know. But when he met me, everything changed. Like he prioritized me, and in no time, within a year, he had already started planning to get married to me, to pay the dowry and all that, to do everything that's needed in order for me to be his wife. So she's right. She's right.
Pardon me?
Okay, y'all, you talking to this guy, and honestly, so many women have a guy like this in their life. It's like things are kind of inconsistent, but y'all have a lot of chemistry. When y'all together, it's a great time. When he's away from you, it's like maybe you hear from him, maybe you don't. You know, he's not really texting or calling. He's not really making plans to see you, but he's still kind of liking your photos, liking your pictures. He may comment or whatever from time to time. He may not be looking for a relationship, but it seems like he feeling you. So y'all still kind of hang out. Maybe you rolling around with the man, okay? But like you don't really got real motion with him. It's kind of back and forth. It's inconsistent. Hell, you don't even know if he got a girlfriend or what. You're just like, what, baby, do you like me? Yes or no? What's really going on? Here are 3 things that you can do to make sure that y'all are on the same page and you end up getting a relationship that you want.
So I got asked this question on my live like a few days ago, and I meant to do a video on this, right? A woman asked me, why do men push away a woman that really cares about him, right? Listen, the truth of the matter is, a man pushes away a woman who he ain't really feeling like that, he don't want like that. When a man pushes you away, it's because he sees somebody better, or he sees somebody else that he wants, or it could also be because in a rare occasion, it could be where he may be healing. You know what I mean? He could still be healing from past traumas that he's dealing with, or he's not over his ex, over somebody else. That could definitely be that. But a lot of times, if a man is pushing you away, it's because he doesn't really want you in that way. So you have to understand, ladies, that again, a man, and I said this before, a man shows you what he wants, who he is, through his actions. Him pushing you away is a sign that he doesn't want you like that, in most cases.
So ladies, pay attention to his actions rather than his words. His actions, the things he does to you, just pay attention. It's so easy to pay attention, but I know so many ladies who say, oh, he says one thing and does another. He's so inconsistent, you know. So, but all in all, these are the guys saying it. Pay attention. Watch his actions. Look at what does he do the things he say? Because sometimes so many people say things and do something else. So pay so much attention to his actions, the things he's doing. But if he keeps all his actions prove that he doesn't care, he's not serious about you, about the relationship, about your future, then that's a sign for you to know that, okay, this is not the man, and you just push him aside and move on. As simple as that.
Gotta look and listen to the signs and believe them. Here's why men push away a woman, okay, who cares about him, all right? Somebody told me to do a video on this on my last live stream, and I told them I would. So pay close attention, listen up. Number one, oftentimes when men do this, it's simply because of the fact that, and this is a hard truth, but they talking to somebody else or they found somebody else, okay? They have a lot of options.
They're talking to somebody else or they found somebody else. Like the other guy said, men always have options. They always have options. Like if a man is with A, he also has B, and sometimes he has C. He always has a backup plan, you know. So a man might be pushing you away because he has option B or option C.
Especially if it's a dude who has a lot of options. If you got a lot of options, he'll probably do this, all right? He probably found somebody that he thinks or deems as a better fit.
And also about a dude who has a lot of options. I mean, girl, what are you doing with a guy who's got a lot of options, like who is dating multiple women? First of all, you are one of the multiple women that he's dating, and there's a slight chance that you might not be the one that he wants to have a long-term relationship with. And there's another scenario that you might be in a triangle relationship where he carries like maybe an STD from one and brings to you, and that's not safe, that's dangerous, that's not good for your health. So ladies, choose wisely, please choose wisely.
Number two, oftentimes men push away a woman because they are not in the best place in their life, okay? Especially if this is a woman who is kind of like pushing towards wanting to be in something serious, more serious than they have been, okay? He's like, nah, I ain't the best place financially. I ain't ready to settle down, this and that. And number three.
Yeah, he's all right about the man might not be in the best place in his life. You know, I know of so many of my friends who met guys and they were so into long-term relationship, they want to get married, like they just met the guy and they start talking about the number of kids that they want, the kind of house they would like to live in, they would like to drive a car, they would like to take vacations, you know, all these things. You're talking to a man who is not ready financially to settle down, because marriage is not just a fairy tale. Marriage is reality. Like if you get married to a man, the man has to be the provider and the protector. And if you meet a man who is not in that season of his life as a protector or a provider, financially and also emotionally, psychologically as well, because just being a husband or a father or like being responsible takes mental strength. You need to be strong enough to take a woman and say, this is my woman. I want her to be my wife. I'm going to protect and provide her no matter what. It takes a lot to do that. And you as a woman, when you meet this kind of man and you go, first thing you're like, oh, where are we going to with this? I want to be married at this time. I want to have this number of kids. I want to live in this kind of area. I want to go on vacations. Like you're just giving your demands just like that without assessing the guy's potential, financial capability, you know. But you're just there. All you want is just what you want. You don't care how he's going to do it. And this sometimes is stressful and also is scary for some men. So if you meet that kind of a man who is not in that season of his life, he's going to push you away. Like he's going to ghost you. He's not ready for that at that time. At that point in time, he's going to push you away. Also, he talked about if a man is healing from past traumas, because some men have had really bad experiences with relationships. You can meet a man who is a divorcee and he has just come out from a marriage like that was really toxic and he has lost custody of his kids, or he is still battling with his wife in court, and he comes to have a relationship with you. He's never going to be so serious and committed because he is still trying to settle his divorce in court, and he's still trying to get custody of his children. So his whole focus is on that. It's not about wifing you. It's not about making you his wife. So if you meet that kind of a man, he's not going to be there for you. He's not going to be ready to go down that path again, because it's scary, you know. And also, we're talking about trauma. There are other scenarios where a guy has had a relationship with a girl, and this girl, the experience was so bad. Maybe the girl cheated on him, and, you know, he's not ready to go down that path to give his heart to another woman again, because he's still healing from his ex, from his past relationship. I mean, maybe I'm just giving an example of cheating, because cheating is really grave and toxic and painful and hurtful, you know. So nobody wants to go down that path again. I think this point really applies to both men and women, because as a girl, what I always tell my girlfriends is that, because I know of some people, there are a group of people who think that once they break up from a relationship, the best way to heal is to move on to another one as soon as possible. But when you move on to another one, you're not too sure if the next one is going to be better than the one you came from. So you need time to heal from the toxic relationship or from the breakup, you know, but they just move on to another one. But many people, reasonable people will always want to heal from the breakup in order to be in a good place for the next relationship. So what he said is really spot on, because if you take off time to heal before you go to a next relationship, it will be difficult for you to be committed to another lady, to a new lady, you know. So that's why if you meet a man who is still healing from a past breakup, a toxic marriage, and so many cases, so many situations, he is never going to be committed. It's not that he hates you. It's just because he wants to heal. He wants to be in a better place in order to have a more healthier relationship with a new person. I mean, because hurt people, you know. So if someone has been hurt in a previous relationship, it's easier for them to carry the hurt to another person, to transfer the aggression to the new person. So a good person wouldn't want to transfer the aggression to the new person. So when they find this beautiful lady, well-mannered, good values, well-educated sometimes, financially stable, and the lady is in a happy place, they admire you so much, but they are afraid to transfer the aggression from their toxic breakup or from a toxic marriage. So, ladies, a man doesn't only push you away because he doesn't want you. It might be he is still healing from past traumas.
Oftentimes it can be because he's still healing from his past relationships and trauma and experiences, okay? And he may need or feel like he need more time. So he got to let you go, push you away. Like a Chef Part 2.